Hello, and welcome to the Thrive for Life Facebook Live. I'm your presenter, Dr. Alicia Shalley. Thank you so much for tuning in today to learn about how you can stay motivated with your weight loss journey. One of the questions that I usually get from my patients, or at least one of the challenges that I see, is that people get so when we talk about what they've done in the past for their weight loss, they realize it's not staying consistent and losing momentum or losing motivation. And so today, I know we've had the new year. We've probably started off strong, doing our healthy habits, and we may be starting to trickle off a little bit. But I'm here to kind of help you get back on track and to stay motivated with losing weight. Now, for those that may be joining us, please put in the post kind of what are some challenges that you have. What is one of the biggest challenges that you have? And what stops you from being motivated? What stops you from being consistent? Before we continue, I do want to just talk a little bit about who I am, just in case this is your first time following me. My name is Dr. Alicia Shelley. I'm a board certified internal medicine, obesity medicine physician. Also, I'm the host of the Back on Track Overcoming Weight Regain podcast and YouTube channel. And what I strive to do is help people be able to implement healthy habits in their busy lifestyles. So as you can see from the pictures, I have struggled with my weight basically all my life, but I've kept going and I haven't let it stop me. And as you can see, I've been able to be at a healthier weight for some time. All right, let's talk about motivation. Now, let's think. What are some reasons why you aren't motivated? Could it be that you're discouraged? Maybe, you started off this healthy habit strong, but then you saw yourself, maybe miss a particular healthy habit, or you're not doing it as you would like to in your head, and you get discouraged and you stop. Or you could be overwhelmed where there's so much going on with your lifestyle, with your family, with your friends, with work, and it's just like, I just don't have time to be able to implement these healthy habits. Or you're looking at the scale and you're like, the scale is not moving, this is not working, so I stop. These are all reasons why people tell me that they stop doing their exercise or healthy habit because of one of these three reasons. Now, you may have a different reason, and feel free to put that in the chat. I'd love to hear about it. Now, let's talk about the three biggest mistakes that people make that cause them to lose motivation. All right. The first one is their why is not strong enough. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, what do you mean the why is not strong enough? We all have a reason, or we all have a why that we're trying to do something, right? It's something that kind of molds or kind of actually motivates us to keep going. That gives us the fuel to keep going. And sometimes the reason why we start a healthy habit isn't as strong as maybe other reasons. A good example of this, let's say a woman wants to lose weight to please her husband. She may find that she loses weight and her husband still is unhappy. Or you have somebody who's trying to lose weight so their family will get off their back because they're tired of them talking about them, to their face, basically. And they may find they lose weight and the family still acts the same way. The problem is that when our reason for doing something is to please someone else, it's never enough for us to continue to do it. Why? Because you may love that person, don't get me wrong, but it may not be the end all be all. And you're like, well, I'll just go back to my old unhealthy habit. Some whys that are a lot stronger are whys that when it means something to you, where it's like, I need to get my knee surgery, and so I need to lose weight so that I can get my knee surgery so that I can start walking again. Those are a little bit stronger. If you're also ones that mean something to you, where you're like, hey, I really want to have more energy. I want to get off these medications. I'm going to implement these healthy habits. And it makes it a lot easier when we have a stronger reason to do it. And the one thing I would say is write out what your reason is. Put it on as your desktop on your computer. Put it as a wallpaper on your phone so that you can see that why over and over and over again. So that when at the end of the day, when you're wanting to just give up, you can be like, well, I'm doing this for this reason. Another strong why is people who like are doing it because I want to be able to run with my grandkids. Or I want to be able to have more energy. These are all very important reasons, and it may have to make sure that your why is something that you want to see done. All right. So the next reason why, or the next mistake that people do is because you're only focusing on the number on the scale. A lot of us will look at the scale, and if they don't see the scale moving fast enough, oh, it's like this is not working, so we'll stop. Or they get discouraged and they stop. But the one thing I want to point out is that in our minds, we expect to lose weight each and every week. We expect to be this blue line where you just see it just going down, down, down. But in actuality, when we lose weight, we may lose weight one week, maybe a lot of weight one week, a little bit weight the next week, and then maybe we may plateau a little bit. And then we'll go down a lot the next week, and then maybe we go up a pound or two, and then we go down again. So our actual scale shows this kind of broken kind of up and down type of weight. But if you look at the mean is still going down. You're still losing weight, but just not at the same rate that you would want to in your mind. So remind yourself there's more to it than just focusing on the scale. And some of the things that you can see here, what are the outcomes that you should focus on? Well, you may say, hey, look, I have more energy. I feel more like I can keep going. I can keep going throughout the day. You also may say, you may also measure yourself. You may say, wow, my waistline is going down, or my chest is going down. Or you can even say, oh my gosh, I'm getting in smaller clothes. It all works. It all counts. You see the difference. You may be able to look at certain things you couldn't do. You maybe say when you started, you were only just walking, but now you're running, So focusing on other outcomes like your energy, your measurements, your what you're able to do more, all play a role and make a difference. And it helps you to stay motivated, because sometimes that scale can lie and be so discouraging. But if you look at other outcomes, you'll see that difference. Mistake number 3, your healthy habits may be unrealistic. I remember I was some of this program for runners. They wanted you to do a low carb diet, and they had like one day you would do 100 carbs, the next day you do 200. Now I had never actually measured my carbs prior to this particular runner's diet. And when I tell you, when I went to like less than 100 carbs, I was so hangry. I was like, oh, this is too much. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stick with it, because for me, it was just so unrealistic. I would have done better to like reduce my calories than it was to reduce my carbs. And so you have to figure out what works for you and to ask yourself, am I being unrealistic? If you haven't exercised in a long time and your first start in exercising is to do 2 hours, 7 days a week, you're going to get burnt out and you're going to be tired and not wanting to continue. So build up gradually. It doesn't have to be all at the same time. You may focus on, if you haven't been exercising, you may focus on just taking 30 minutes of your time, 5 days a week, just to start, and then each day building, or even 30 minutes at a time, 3 days a week, and then just keep building on. There's no reason where you have to do everything right at the beginning. You just kind of gradually build up. And I find that it's so much easier when people do that, because they tend to have less burnout and less overwhelm, because they're making it realistic. So the other thing those are our 3 mistakes that people make, which is they don't have a strong enough why. They focus on more than just the scale. And then number 3, their goals are unrealistic. So I am having a 5-day kickstart challenge starting January 31st. And if you're interested, I'd love for you to join us so that we can help you get to the goal that you have. And I have, and this is the website here, www.thriveforlifechallenge.com. And it looks like we have one comment here by Leanne Dooley. She says she's been guilty of number 2 for sure. Haven't we all? We really have. I know. I purposely, I get on the scale every week, but I try not to let it like affect how I feel. Even if it goes up, goes down, I'm like, hey, look, that's okay. I'm going to start over the next day. So definitely I understand. And if there are any questions or anything that people have, feel free to write that in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And while you're writing, the one thing I will say is that with the Thrive for Life Kickstart Challenge, it's about helping you get to that next step. Sometimes it's so hard to get started. It's so hard to, we have so much on our plate. We have responsibilities. It's hard to kind of implement. And what the Kickstart Challenge will help you do is start to implement, get momentum, and keep going. Keep going. So I'm going to check just in case to see if there's any questions out there that people may have. And just so you know, with the Kickstart Challenge, it is for the general admission. It's just 1 hour every day for 5 days, starting Monday, going to Friday. And then for the VIP section, we have an additional hour where you have just live laser coaching, where you ask me anything. We can actually do an assessment and kind of see where you are and go from there. So that's the difference between the 2, general admission and VIP. You get a little bit more time. And then it looks like we don't have any questions just yet. But if you're just watching the replay, feel free to write a question in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them for you. And I just appreciate you all actually just taking out the time and listening to the Facebook Live. Also, I have a treat for you. On Thursday, January 27th, I have a special edition Facebook Live with our wealth expert, Dr. Elisa Chang, where we're going to talk about how we're going to thriving with health and wealth. So it should be good just to talk about that. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. All right. Have a great day.